So do we have anybody visiting for the first time? Could you raise your hands? Oh, so many. And where are you all from? Haribo, you stay in Atlanta or visiting?
No, basically.
Oh, let's give them a nice big welcome. He's Calcutta man? And your name of your family? What is your name? Okay, all family members raise your hand. Let's see. Hare Krishna. Okay. Who else is visiting for the first time? I thought I saw some more hands. Yes, Prabhu, what is your name?
Krishna.
And you are from Atlanta, or you new to Atlanta, just moving, or are you here? Okay, the first time visiting. Let's give them a nice anyone else? Only that first time, but we have some people that are coming back after a long time. No? Okay. So, today we are very fortunate. We're going to have our discourse by our temple president, His Grace Veda Ki Jai. So he practiced speaking his entire life from that age. Hard to imagine, he's so much older now. At the age of 5, he was in the Gurukul in Mayapur. Have you visited Mayapur?
Yeah.
He was in the Gurukul from the age of 5 years old. And then so much seva in Mayapur, helping to establish Mayapur. And then he's been here as the temple president for 17 years. Either he's transcendental or he's madman. So, anyway, so much experience, so much seva, so much knowledge. All those, you see those boys that were chanting when they have the parades? He usually was with the boys at that time. So, good. So anyway, so Veda Prabhu, thank you for giving our lecture today. Everybody say Haribo. He wants to start, he plays a little soft instrument. Where's your Duncan place? Too high.
still ask questions, and I would get slapped around, and I would still ask questions, because I wanted to know that it had a reason, there was a purpose behind every action. It shouldn't just be someone told you to do it and you do it. That's good, provided you do some homework before you agree to go on that path. So when we do this, as Sukhi Mahiti Prabhu said, is bringing our hands to your heart. This is the seat of Paramatma. The Supreme Lord is residing in your heart. And when you say pranam, it basically means I respect the divine, I respect Krishna within your heart. And this is a very respectable way to do it. You'll notice sometimes the hand will be at the heart, and other times the hand will be at your throat, and other times they do this. Has anyone seen that? In India it's very common. Do you know why they do this? Yes, you would like to know? Something you can know. Every time you see someone doing this, you know why. Someone doing this, you know why, and someone doing this, you understand why. There's 3 spots in your body. As you know, the heart is the super soul, the residence of Paramatma. And on the throat, you will see is the Vachan Shakti, the Vak Shakti. The ability, the power of speech comes from this Vishuddhi Chakra. It's also Saraswati Devi. And then here, we all know that this is a very important place because we put the lotus feet of Krishna on your head. Why? Because this is the seat of your destiny. We put tilak here, you'll see everybody puts tilak. Why? Because it is signifying what their destiny, where they're going. Just like in India, married women, they wear a big red bindi. Why? Because that signifies they're married to someone. So when we put tilak and we do this, you're showing your dedication and commitment to Krishna. This is the lotus feet of Krishna, and here is the tulasi leaf. So this is why we should always put our hands together when we greet one another. And you can choose, you can do it from here, you can do it from here, you can do it from wherever, as long as you put your hands together. And in the kirtan, some of you know, it's good to clap your hands, because the more you clap your hands, you are creating your own destiny. Everyone has come here with a destiny, but you want to change your destiny, you don't like your current destiny, you can change it simply by clapping your hands in the kirtan. So please understand that everything we do, it has a very deep spiritual significance, and once we understand the significance, we will do it with knowledge. It's always good to take informed decisions. Whenever someone tells us to do something, we should understand why, and we should understand how it should be done, and then we should execute. So, thank you all so much for coming. I'm happy to see Tushar and his lovely wife drive all the way from Chattanooga. 2 hours to come to a Sunday feast. That's a commitment. And we have families here from all the way from Kolkata. That's very far. Anyone else here for the first time that we haven't recognized? Please tell us your name.
Sonal.
Sonal.
We moved in from Minnesota.
From Minnesota.
Last month.
Very nice. They said Minnesota, right? Minnesota. Thank you for moving to Atlanta and joining us here for our Sunday feast. So I was given this topic today to discuss about bhakti. I won't get very esoteric, I'll get very practical and understanding of what is bhakti and how to practice bhakti, because the very topic today is bhakti is our birthright. Does anybody know what birthright means? Raise your hand, don't be shy to please tell us what is birthright.
It's your solemn right, nobody can take it away from you.
Your solemn right no one can take away from you. Okay, anyone else?
Freedom of speech.
Freedom of speech is your birthright. Okay. Let's hope so, huh?
Freedom of movement.
Freedom of movement. Okay, great. Necter.
Just by being born.
Inadvertent?
You earned it just by taking birth.
You have earned it just by taking birth. Very nice. Very nice. And it is a very beautiful explanation. So birthright, as all of you have pointed out, is the right that you are born with and into a particular family, into a particular, in India they have caste. And so if you're born in a family of Brahmanas, then you immediately in India have the right to go worship. And if you're born in a rich family, you have certain rights, you have certain access. So right means to have a certain access to something. And it also means you actually become the heir, you inherit what your parents or whoever brought you into this world, you automatically inherit whatever they have. So we are saying that bhakti is our birthright. What does that mean? That means that when we come into this world, we come with certain inalienable rights that they say in the American Constitution. Of course, they say life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. But for devotees, it is the right to be who we are. Very important principle to understand. Bhakti means you have the right to be who you truly are. And why is this so important? And why is bhakti so relevant? Because in this world, when we come into this world, we have been given an identity. A perceived identity by your parents before you are even born. The parents, they have an expectation of you. And you're in your mother's womb, and your father and your mother are talking to you and telling you, "Beta, when you come out, you'll become an engineer, you'll become the best doctor, you'll go to the United States, you'll marry the best girl, you'll marry the best man." So they keep talking to you. Is this true or not? Huh? Indian parents are saying yes. So this is something that samskara or impressions are projected on this unborn child while the baby is still in the womb. It's a pretty heavy identity. That before you are even born, they're already talking to you and telling you who you're going to be, what you're going to be. In America, they already pick out the name before you even come out. And they pick out a name based on some friends that they have and the qualities of that particular friend that they like. And in India, we think of Shiva, I should give name for Ganesh, Kartikeya, he will be strong like Kartikeya. We should name him Parashuram, he will be a warrior, we will name him Bhima, Arjuna. So in this way, in India we select names based on our idea of a certain deity. In America, we select names based on a perception or a relationship that you have with someone. That is what the values that you think are something that you would like to see in the world. And then you start to plant the seed into this child's life. And he's not even born yet. So this is what happens. And as Bhakti.Everyone Thakur, he explains, one great saint, he explains how when he was born, he is being pampered by all the family members. Krishna's energy is so powerful. And so, we have come into this world with a perception of an identity someone has been projecting it on us. And when we are born, the continuation of that goes on. And throughout our life, we're told that we can do anything we want. Who here has been told you can be whatever you want to be? Raise your hand. Who here has been told you can only be doctors or engineers? Only two options. And it's very interesting. We have been given choices, and we have already been conceived, and an identity has been given to us without any contribution from you or any approval from you. No consultation. And so this is why we live a life of an identity crisis. We live a whole life, we have no idea who we are. We have no idea what we want in life. Everything that we want in life is based on what someone has told you you should have. Nothing based on what you really want and you really need. So all of these identities, and I tell you, everyone in your family has a different identity imposed on you. And it's very hard to juggle all of that. So what happens? We try to make do with whatever information and perceptions and ideas family, society, or social circles have for us. So we come up with a functional identity. The first identity is you need a functional identity. I am here right now, I need to just survive. I'm here as a son, I'm here as a daughter, whatever they tell me to do, you just try to accept whatever is being told, and you try to juggle all of it. And there is continuous bombardment of what you should look like, what your weight level, and your features, and your smartness, and everything. How much money you should have. And you're constantly trying to juggle this. And this is what life is for us. We are at the functional stage of our identity. Continuously trying to juggle to see how we can fit in. And we're never satisfied. Because if we think we fit in, someone else tells us, no, that's not how you should walk. You should make sure your sari covers your ankles, because that is a proper chaste way to live. You should wear, your bindi is not big enough, you should make it a little bigger. There's continuous adjustment that we're being asked to make. And it's a very difficult task to juggle this functional identity. And so this is what happens with life. I'll get to why we sing Bhakti, that's right. And then from our functional identity stage, we get a little older, we get an education, we have some more independence in life. Then we get something called a rational identity. Rational identity is you have your own intelligence, you have a little bit of freedom, you're not living with your parents, in your family. And you start to think and contemplate. You get a job, you have to somehow, make sense that you have spent 15 years or 20 years of your life to get a job that you have no idea who you're going to be working with, and you have to adjust with them. And you have to be very careful because they're paying you. That anytime you say something wrong, or you look the wrong way, it could be construed as something is wrong. Some violation is there. There's a lot of walking on eggshells, as they say in America, at work. Constantly, you're trying to navigate intellectually, navigate your current environment because now someone is paying you something. So this functional level of consciousness, operational consciousness, is called the Annamaya Kosha and Manamaya Kosha. The two primary levels of functional consciousness. And then here we see a rational part, the intelligence is involved. So there's jnana here. You're trying to make sense of where you should fit in, how you should fit in, and how to juggle your current complex environment. And then finally, we have the spiritual identity, which is our true identity. This is the identity where we are sent into this world. We have chosen to come into this world. Although you have an identity as an eternal spirit soul, which means that you're full of knowledge, full of bliss, and you're eternal. So this is your inherent quality that you come into this world with. But somehow that identity is being covered by everything else. And that identity of the spirit soul is Anandamayo Vyasat, which is you're supposed to be constantly in the mood of happiness. And this is what Prabhupada came to give us, the secret, the remedy for happiness. And he simply encouraged us, chant and be happy. He simplified the whole process. Why? Why was it so simplified? And because it was so simplified, people think it maybe doesn't work. But the simple process of happiness is to chant and be happy. And you can try this, because I have been experimenting on this Maha Mantra for quite some time now. It has been about 41 years that I've been experimenting on myself. And I've been experimenting on students in the universities and other places. And it's very interesting. The research that you'll find is that even if you just chant 24 minutes a day, there's 24 hours. For those of you who are not doing any nama japa, not doing any mantra japa, then I recommend you at least try 24 minutes a day. And each one of those minutes, of those 24 minutes, will impact one of your 24-hour cycles. This mantra is so powerful, and this enables the darkness that we are covered with. This mantra enables to remove the darkness so you can actually operate from your true spiritual identity. And naturally, after 24 minutes, focused, you'll actually feel that something has happened in you. But it has to be done with pure intention. Many of us, we do japa, because our functional nature is to do everything out of fear. The reason we're not happy is because we're afraid. There's no other reason why you're not happy. You're afraid. Fear. Bhakti.Everyone Thakur explains, when he divides consciousness, he divides it into 3 functional levels of consciousness. He says fear, reward, 4. Fear, reward, duty, and love. All actions in our life will fall into one of these categories. We often say that we do it out of love. But that's a big claim to make. But if you analyze yourself, the reason we're not happy is because we're afraid. And the reason we're afraid is because we are holding on to an identity that is not ours. That is not who we are. You're holding on to an identity that belongs to someone else, and that is given to you on a temporary basis. If you come into America on a tourist visa and you say, I will live here forever, and you overstay your visa, you will always be looking over your shoulders. Always looking over your shoulders. Why? Because we are here, yes, but we're living here in this mature world with an identity that is not us. And this process of bhakti that Prabhupada came and brought to the world, the practice of bhakti, is such that simple practice of sadhana bhakti, every day, simple practices will make the world of difference in your lives. And when we analyze our lives, when we don't have something, then we want something that we do not have. And often we actually want something that someone else has. Even if you have that, you still want what the other person has. Like a little kid, he has a lollipop. But he doesn't want his lollipop, he wants the one that the other kid has it. And they fight for it. So this is the nature that we live with in the material world. Continuously chasing after something that someone else has. And why is it that we're chasing after something that someone else has? Because you never really take the time to analyze to see what you have. Once you realize what you have, you'll never go after what someone else has. People steal for what reason? People work for what reason? People overwork for what reason? Over-acquire. Acquisition it's a big thing in this world. Everyone is in pursuit of acquisition of something. Those who feel that they don't have enough money, they want more. Those who do not, they feel they're not famous enough, they want to be more famous. Those who feel that they're not beautiful enough, they will spend more money on trying to see how they can make their physiology more attractive. So in this way, the pursuit of material life is nothing but an identity crisis. And nowadays, we have a lot of new crises. I remember I go to this one university, it's an all-girls college. It's a very liberal college. It's in Decatur called Iskcon. They give me 1 hour orientation on how to speak to the students. Because I have many genders and I was so I was confused, more than confused. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. And finally I said, is there one word that I can use to put everyone together? He said, you just say they. So I gave a whole class addressing everyone as they, and I thought it was very interesting experience. And my realization from that was noticing that the real crisis we have in this world is that we have forgotten who we truly are, And because we have forgotten who we truly are, there's going to be many, many genders. There's going to be many, many identities we will create to be someone unique, to be someone special in this world. And that will only be there because we forget that we are always special in the eyes of Krishna. We are so distinctively individual and unique. There is not a second person who is the same as you. That's how amazingly cool we are. Yet, because we have an identity crisis, we are constantly comparing and competing with everyone in this world to be what someone else is, to have what someone else has. And this is what happens in our lives. So bhakti is our birthright. Why? Because bhakti is transcendental love. Bhakti is the process by which we can actually relish that eternal relationship with Krishna. And Krishna is our Father. Krishna Mata, Krishna Pita, Krishna Dhana Prabhu. Bhaktivinoda Thakur explains that we have one Father. We all have one Father. And so we have the right to have this loving relationship with Krishna. Whether we claim that inheritance or not, that is up to us. I know I have some students at Georgia Tech University, Jewish students, and I remember they were talking about their right to the motherland, and I didn't understand what that meant. That means that no matter where you were born, if you're born a Jew, you have a right to citizenship in Israel. And I always thought it was quite fascinating. So I feel as bhakti practitioners, we should take up our rights and we should claim it and we should embrace it and be proud about it and share this beautiful transcendental right that we have come into this world with, is to have that eternal loving relationship with Krishna. The other day we were doing kirtan with the boys next door. Every Thursday we have a beautiful kirtan and discussions with American boys and girls. And we were singing songs of Narottam Das Thakur and Bhakti.Everyone Thakur, and we were relishing the deep pastimes that are happening in the hearts of these great saints. Whatever is happening, their deep samadhi, deep realizations they're experiencing, is documented in these beautiful songs. And we were just singing all the songs. Nara Hari Adi Kori Chamara Dulai. What's happening? This is actually a lila, this is a pastime that is happening. This is happening in the heart of Bhakti.Everyone Thakur. And as this pastime is happening in his heart, he's writing such beautiful songs. And this is a meditation. And this is the right that we have. We have the right to practice bhakti so sincerely that we can actually see these beautiful pastimes happening in this lifetime. So we have to keep in mind that this incredible opportunity that we have as human birth is to claim this right to bhakti, which is transcendental love, transcendental devotional service. It is our right that we're born with, and we should claim it, and we should make it ours, and we should not give it up at any cost. If your father left you with such expensive, priceless treasure, would you just neglect it? We would not. We would relish it, cherish it, and we would share it with other brothers and sisters. And this is why Prabhupada, imagine, whenever I think of him, this is my meditation. One definition of prema bhakti, or the topmost love, is that you must be ready to die for that love. Is there anyone here that would die for that love? Prabhuji will die for this love for Krishna. But real bhakti, prema bhakti, what makes prema bhakti the topmost bhakti above bhava bhakti, is that they're ready to die for Krishna. What happens is, when we are lost in this identity crisis, bhakti will help you to dissolve that material identity and give you a spiritual identity. And with that, when you practice devotional service, you will lose your spiritual identity, because your only identity will be, how can I serve Krishna and how can I please Him? Because topmost bhakti, we know, for example, we say bhakti is selfless service. Selfless service means, you look at typical example, you will see people like Mother Teresa. She's doing selfless service. But she does not forget that she is a nun, and she is Christian, and she is Mother Teresa. That identity is there, and she's rendering selfless service. But if you look at higher than that, in bhakti, when you practice devotional service, the gopis in Vrindavan, the residents of Vrindavan, they forget who they are. In service, in practice of bhakti, they forget such deep absorption in serving Krishna and pleasing Krishna, they forget who they are. They're simply there to please Krishna, and whatever it takes. When Narada Muni does the test, Krishna has a fever. We need the dust. And everyone is hesitant to give the dust from their feet for Krishna. But the residents of Vrindavan, no hesitation. We'll go to hell as long as Krishna is happy. And this is the topmost. And we all have access to it. Because why? Srila Prabhupada has done the same thing. He risked his life. Please understand, my dear friends. It was not an easy journey for him. He was leaving his home. Comfort of Vrindavan. You may not understand what is the comfort of Vrindavan. Those of you who really practice bhakti sincerely, you will understand what it means, the comfort of Vrindavan. It is your home, it is the shelter, it is the experience of transcendental love. Srila Prabhupada lives that, taking the risk of 2 heart attacks, death. To do what? To give this bhakti to others. So this is how you know that this bhakti that we have access to is very high quality, is Vrindavan bhakti, is the bhakti that is available in Braj. And we all have access to it. And this is our right. Golokera premadhana harinama sankirtana. The essence of the spiritual world, imagine the essence, the most priceless gift that anyone could ever have is personally brought by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu from the spiritual world to give it to us. And this is the right. He came to give it to us. My dear children, Enechi Osadi Maya Nachi Larabha. I have brought this transcendental nectar from the spiritual realm. And if you take this potion of transcendental nectar, you will be cured of all the material diseases that you have been suffering for 8,400,000 species of life. It's just a serious disease. COVID comes and it goes. But this disease of materialism is what is holding us back from having full access to this prema bhakti. So, this topic of understanding that bhakti is our birthright. How do we know? Because our acharyas are making it very clear. It's written in so many Puranas and Upanishads, and making it very clear that Mahaprabhu has come to give us this, our inheritance, and we should not discard this inheritance, and we should take it very seriously. So I'm going to appeal to all of you. Who here is doing japa every day? Raise your hand. Who here is not doing japa every day? I'm so happy you're not doing it every day. Please give yourself some recognition. You deserve it. And because you're not doing it every day, if you're honest in front of the Lordships, I recommend at least 24 minutes a day. 24 minutes. Start with 24 minutes a day of japa. And I guarantee you each one of this minute will compensate for every one of the 24 hours that you breathe in this world. Just start. 24 minutes is not a lot. And every one of those hours will mean something to you because you have done japa for 24 minutes. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Any questions or any comments, any objections, any additions and subtractions? Yes, Arjun Prabhu.
You said two things, topics about bhakti. Bhakti, their definition, Rishikesha, Rishikena, Sevanam Bhakti Ruchyate. So, Rishikesha means Lord Krishna. And Rishikena, our Indriya. With our Indriya, when serving to Krishna fully, that's called Bhakti. So when we come to the temple, we should use our body, mind, and do something to please Krishna. Then we can understand Bhakti. And second thing, you said about hand folding. What we speak hand in front of Krishna, we're not supposed to put our hand like this. That's offensive. When you understand, Ami Nitya Krishna Das, ei kotha khule, Mayar Nakor hoiya chirodin bole. Because I forgot, I am an eternal servant of Krishna. And I forgot when I come to the Krishna, in front of Krishna, we're putting our hand inside, and behind. That's offensive. We can't hold our hand in front of you. So I am your prabhu, I am your servant.
It's a Prabhupada.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So we have to understand that I am your das, but why? Because I forgot. I forgot how? Because Maya, Krishna has a lot of Maya, cover our knowledge. When we come in front of Krishna, we forgot.
Thank you, Arjun. Very nice.
We teach all this in Mayapur. So that's what I'm saying. Even we come in front of deities, we're not supposed to put hand behind. You are Prabhu, I am servant.
Most people have a phone in their hand nowadays.
Many other things to say, I cannot say all these
Thank you,
things.
thank you. Anyone else would like to add any or questions? Yes, Bhava Mai.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
I just wanted to ask you to give some more clarification on the spiritual identity versus bhakti identity.
Yes, bhakti identity is your spiritual identity. So, spiritual means something that is beyond matter. And of course, that identity becomes more and more refined. It gets pretty detailedly defined, our spiritual identity. Because initially we're sadhana bhaktis, and sadhana bhakti is considered bhakti, but real bhakti begins at raganuga bhakti, spontaneous devotion. You just love because you just love. There is no rationalism, there is no intelligence, it's just the heart. So when the heart is completely intoxicated with the love for Krishna, then it just moves. You don't have to have a reason to come to Mangalarati. You just come because you want to come. And you can gauge yourself. Sometimes you'll see spontaneous devotional service if you have reached that stage or not. I remember asking this question once, and I was told, what happens when you have a fever? When you come into Mangalarati every day, what happens when you have a fever? Do you still come to Mangalarati? And I said, no, I just go to sleep. He said, you're still working on it, he said. And I said, what do you mean? He said, because when you have that deep love, there's no physical limitations that can impede your devotion. When there is no physical limitations that impede your devotion, then you know that you're somewhere. And really having that deep attachment to your spiritual identity as an eternal servant of Krishna. So spiritual identity to give you a life to Krishna. Life. I'm ready to offer my body, mind, and words, everything in the service of you, Krishna. And that is a very high level of commitment. And then more opens up for you in this world to experience. So, I don't know if that helps to answer your question.
Yes, thank you so much.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Sikhimaiti Guru, help me out.
Ultimately, the soul's nature is that we are servant. So we either serve the illusion, which is based on I, me, and mine, I want to be happy, or our true nature is to serve Krishna. So, in the beginning, as you mentioned, you were, oh, who are we? What is my relationship with Krishna? Well, you're a servant of Krishna. So we can begin that service even in this covered illusionary point, that at least let me thank Krishna for all the things he provided, right? That's being religious. And a little more, instead of thanking him for what he provides, let me try to do something for him also. So that's the beginning of what you see in the, as you mentioned, sadhana bhakti, follow the rules and regulations. Because I am a servant and I am instructed to follow this way. And gradually, as he mentions, the raganuga and all the other things will come. But service, everybody has to do. You can't. Nobody can say I'm not a servant. So you can choose. I want to serve Maya or I want to serve Krishna. On the lowest level.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you for a fantastic lecture. My question was when you were speaking about inheritance, basically you know that your parents have this for you. Why can't we take bhakti as an asset? Why we see it as a burden sometimes rather than an asset?
Beautiful question. In this practice of bhakti, there's different grades of consciousness that we go up. Bhakti is climbing the ladder of consciousness. And by the degree of our consciousness, we can gauge ourselves where we are in the bhakti practice. And once we realize that what has been brought for us you look, for example, you know your Gotra, right? Bharadwaj Gotra, right? Or what Gotra is it?
I think it's Kaushik.
Kaushik Gotra. Understand where you came from. Everyone, you go and pay money and do ancestral DNA test. In India, you don't need ancestral DNA test. You get to save money. Indian people like to save money. You get to save money. You just study about Kaushik and see the lineage that you come from. What did the sages leave behind for you? They left a massive spiritual legacy behind. All the sages, the Saptarishis, the 12 Mahajans, an incredible array of treasure that they have left behind for us. But unfortunately, we live in a world where those things are not as seen as valuable. By developing industrial civilization, because you have to see how you can be useful for them, and that knowledge is not useful for them. So what is truly essentially useful for us is the legacy that your ancestors have left behind for you. Every one of the Indians, they know for a fact they have their gotras. You are taught as a young kid, what is your gotra? But we never really studied, who's Vashishta, who's Bharadwaj, and what did they leave behind for us? And we pursue behind something that is sold to us more recently. See, we are all looking for identities, and identities are sold to you every day. People think, I'm wearing this. You're wearing a shirt. You didn't choose to buy that shirt, by the way. You were made to choose to buy that shirt. But you have the feeling that I chose the shirt because it looks good on me. No. You're walking into the mall and you saw a handsome man wearing that color shirt, and that impression you caught, and you wanted to buy that exact shirt so you can look like him. There's nothing in this world that we consume is something that we have chosen. It has been very carefully chosen for you. Similarly, your continuous transformation and molding of your identity is done by society. This material identity that you have, it becomes stronger and stronger. Education system is to give you an identity that is contrary to your bhakti identity. So therefore, there is a need for reflection. See, Shravana, Manana and Nididhyasana in Vedanta philosophy, you see. You need to contemplate. First you hear, then you contemplate on it. And we need to spend time in that contemplation trying to understand, what is it that I'm doing? And life, people live very carefully, curated for you by someone else. And then, at the end of life, you're laying in bed, figuring out, what have I done? I have acquired all of this, will my children take care of it? And you live this world with nothing but regret. If you look, do some research, you'll find there are 7 regrets that every elderly person, dying person has. You live this world with regret. But in bhakti, you live this world with peace and just pure joy. Because you're ready to go to Krishna and serve Him with such deep love in your true spiritual eternal form. So, I would say most important thing is to first understand what is it that has been left behind for you. All of us have come from India in pursuit of something what we think greater than what India could provide us. But if you look back a little bit, you will see that there's a lot that you have left behind. I remember Prabhupada's interview, it was very quick when the British journalist asked him. Swamiji, why have you come to the West? He said, I have come to give you what you forgot to take from India. But it was so quick. Very interesting, if you really think about it. Treasure of Bharat Bhumi. It's so powerful, the whole world is looking towards the East. And we're looking through each other in opposite directions. So there's a need for us to reflect a little bit more as to just where are we going with life. And if you don't reflect on it now, when you have children, then you have more time to reflect, and by the time you really figure out what's happening, they've grown older, and you have lost them. Because the children who are born in this country, they're not Indian kids. They're American boys and girls. And if we don't give them access to the treasure, the inheritance that is left behind. And the highest treasure is this bhakti that we have. There's nothing greater than that, because it's truly touching the core of your existence. It's just right there, you and Krishna. That is what bhakti is. You're in such close proximity. So therefore, we have to take life seriously. We may not think how fragile it is. Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, it's like a drop of water teetering on a lotus leaf. Imagine. Kamala dava java jivanata. And the wind will blow any time. You will have to vacate this body. This body is not yours to keep. Anytime you will have to vacate. No notifications. Sometimes you may be given a notification, you have a terminal disease, you have 1 month to live. Most people don't get notifications. When it's time to go, you're evicted. So therefore we should take life seriously and really try to study what Prabhupada has come to give and really imbibe the mood that he has come to this world with. And eventually, if we sincerely seek, our consciousness will evolve. It will not happen overnight. It's a process. I've been trying for 40 years and I'm still struggling. 41 years. Still trying to understand what is this bhakti. And so, if we at least take an initiative to try every day, 24 minutes of japa, it's 2 rounds of japa. It's 2 rounds, enough to start. And the internal churning starts. And Krishna will reveal whatever he wants to reveal. So therefore we need to read the books, number 1, because reading the books will give you book knowledge. And then you apply the books, and you will have realized knowledge. You will start to realize. When you apply something, you realize what works, what doesn't work, and how it works. And then eventually, if the heart is pure enough, then you will have access to revealed knowledge. And Krishna will reveal everything there is to reveal to you. So the ball is in our court, and thank you, Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So I'd like to request Varun Rajan and Shweta Anand to please come to do the arati. Okay, I think that's it. Shubhamji. Is Subhajit here?
Yeah.
You're Subhajit. Okay. He fixes harmoniums. His expertise. So please, if you have harmoniums, this is the day he's here. He's only here today. So please see him. He will fix the harmoniums in the temple. So let's have kirtan. and then we'll have a yajna, fire ceremony. Krishna So his son is Devansh Rajan, right? And he becomes 3 years old? Shrivansh. Shivansh. Okay. So you're celebrating Shivan's birthday. Oh, okay. So we're celebrating 2 birthdays. Perfect. Okay. Is there a cake? No celebration cakes. Please, let us garland the birthday boys.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
So we're going to pray to the Lord. We're going to sing birthday to Devansh, and then Shivansh. Are you all okay? We'll start with Devansh first. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Devansh. Happy birthday to you. Raise both your hands so we can pray for this boy. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So now we're going to sing Happy Birthday to Shivansh. Are you ready, Shivansh? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Shivansh. Happy birthday to you. Please raise both your hands and bless him. We pray to your worship. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Thank you, brother. Thank you. So, for Janmashtami celebration, which is our big festival coming up, who remembers the dates? 6th of September. I'm just always checking to see how much you remember. Kali memory is being challenged every day with technology. So, Janmashtami celebration is September 6th, and Srila Prabhupada is September the 7th. And this year, you don't have the kalash? Can I see the kalash? We have a theme where you get to bathe Krishna personally on Janmashtami day. And this celebration is happening in the 14 planetary systems. It's not only happening in Atlanta, my dear friends. It's happening in Brahma Loka, it's happening in Swarga Loka and Satya Loka. And all the 14 planetary systems are celebrating Sri Krishna Janmashtami. And even in this Guru Loka, we're celebrating, in all the countries of the world that we're celebrating Janmashtami. So it is the biggest celebration. It is bigger than Christmas. So let us not lose this opportunity to celebrate Sri Krishna Janmashtami here in Atlanta. And all of you will have access to being close to Krishna and personally participating in Krishna's Leela of bathing him with Panchamrita and Panchagavya. So far, during the festival, it is an event that starts at 4:30 a.m. in the morning and it goes on till midnight. Bolo Krishna Kanhaiya Lal Ki. So this Krishna Janmashtami is such a big celebration. It is the biggest celebration in the entire cosmic creation. There's nothing bigger than Sri Krishna Janmashtami. In Vrindavan, you will not be able to walk because your feet will not touch the ground. Because there's so many people, you'll literally be floating. Because there's so much pushing and shoving that goes on. Because there's so many people who are there to celebrate Sri Krishna Janmashtami that your feet will not even touch the earth in Vrindavan. But here in Atlanta, you have the privilege of making sure your feet are touching the ground and still get to serve Krishna. So we have Vinod Sharmaji and family. They sponsored prasadam that will be served out all day long. So we throw a feast. Everyone that comes to serve Krishna, we throw a feast. And so no one leaves the temple without prasadam. So Vinod Sharmaji is always feeding Vaishnavas. This is his eternal rasa, his relationship, his lila with Krishna. In the spiritual world, he's starting it right here. His whole family, they're always feeding the Vaishnavas. The whole Tha family and Vinod Sharma family. So they sponsored $2,000 to feed prasadam to 3,000 pilgrims that will come here for Sri Krishna Janmashtami. Keep in mind, very important principle. When you appreciate someone, you get all of their good qualities. So anyone who serves Krishna, they have good qualities. So when we clap and we are grateful, then you get all of their good qualities. So again, Haribo! Krishna Sharanam Prabhu, $601, which is partial donation for the dress, one of the dresses for the deities. So our lordships, they get special dress. On your birthday, you give a lot of gifts, you receive a lot of gifts. On Krishna's birthday, he gets to give a lot of gifts. He's giving everybody benediction. Everyone in the world is going to Krishna. Bhagavan, give me a wife, give me a husband, give me a home, give me this, give me that. And he's fulfilling everyone's desires. So on that day, we try to do something for him by offering him new clothes. And these clothes are sewn in Vrindavan from his hometown. We import them, we custom design them, and we send them the design, they get it made, and it's brought from his hometown so that Krishna can feel at home. Radha, Amit and Radha Priya, $1,251 for the deity garland and Abhishek. Let's appreciate them one more time. Ganga Mata Goswami and family, they're sponsoring the midnight arati. When Krishna comes into this world, he appears in the jail cell in the middle of the night. The only persons that know that Krishna is appearing are his devotees, because everyone in the world are asleep. So at that time, they get to do a special arati, and Ganga Mata Goswami and her family are sponsoring $2,001 to do this arati. And we have 151 golden kalashas. Can you take it out? I'd like to show you. You get one of these to take home with you. And you can bathe your deities at home. But before you do that, you get to come and bathe Krishna. We will fill this up with Panchamrita, 5 nectars. And you'll get to personally bathe Krishna with it along with your family. And be part of Krishna's bathing. It's a very beautiful ceremony. Because only Krishna, because is so kind and so merciful that He allows you to be in His shower. No one gets to have anybody in their shower. Come on. Only God can do that. He wants you. He wants you to be part of His pastimes. You get to personally shower Him with Panchamrita on His birthday. You don't get to do this every day unless you're worshipping Krishna at home. But here in the temple, you get it once a year. So, this is Sri Krishna Janmashtami Abhishek. 151 kalashas. Every year we get 108, and we always run out. And then people become very disappointed. Why didn't I get to bathe Krishna? You're depriving me. So this year we said, okay, we'll have additional kalashas just in case. And I know you'll also run out. Because Krishna brings everybody to come and join with Him in His pastimes. But I am simply here as His messenger, as a servant, appealing to all of you to please participate in this celebration. So far, we have 31 people, families who have signed their name up to bathe Krishna on His birthday. In addition to that, we have Shruti and Kumar, Sheila Goyal, Ankur Mazumdar and family, Anita, Tony Mulchandani, Kandaswamy, and Kulan Daivel and Kayati family, and Sachiprana Gaur Hari Prabhu. So these are additional 9 new families that will be participating in Sri Krishna Janmashtami. Sri Krishna Kanhaiya Lal Ki! So anyone else here would like to bathe Krishna on Sri Krishna Janmashtami? What is the donation? 351. Would like to have your name on the board, and you'll have a kalash with a box that you get to bathe Krishna and you take it home with you. Anyone else here would like to join us today? Gaura Chand, let's give. Gaura Chand. This boy was born and raised in New Panihati Dham, and now he has finally graduated from college and he hasn't started his job yet. So he's spending his money on Krishna before he makes his money. It's a brilliant business plan because Krishna, return on investment with Krishna is 1,000 times, just an FYI. It's a good decision, Gaurajan. Anyone else wants to bathe Krishna? Anyone thinking about it? Or you're too hungry? Yes, Prabhu. Krishna Arvind Dakshadas and family. Let's give them a big. Krishna Arvind Dakshadas and family. Anyone else? Prabhu. I was wondering, I was looking at you, I was trying to see if I've seen you anywhere. Please tell us. What name?
Israel Garcia.
Israel Garcia from Atlanta.
And my wife Lydia.
What's her name?
Lydia.
Lydia. Israel and Lydia from Atlanta, Georgia. Let's give them a big. Gainesville, Georgia. How cool is that? Thank you for coming. I'm so happy to meet you, bro. It's out there, Gainesville, Georgia. Thank you so much. Okay, anyone else for Sri Krishna Janmashtami Abhishek? Okay, so I don't want to take you, I don't want to starve you too long. This opportunity will be there till the Janmashtami Day, September 6th. You may not be available by the September 6th, it may all be gone, but please come and sign up and make sure you have an entry ticket to Krishna's pastimes. Krishna Kanhaiya Lal Ki Jai. So please come and have last darshan, and prasad will be served in the temple room today. There will be a fire ceremony right behind. This is a special ceremony, fire ceremony, praying for the health of His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj. Disciples is a must for you to attend, and everyone else is invited as well.